Hey everybody, and welcome back to my World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So right now I'm currently on Calypso and I'm in Aberdeen, which for those who are still learning the whole, world, it's up here on the northwestern part of Kalimdor. So mostly today though, I kind of wanted to talk while I'm playing about our guild. Um, we are currently on the we'll log out here. Oh, nope, no, let's not do that. I always do that whenever I'm recording, and I don't know why. Probably just because my brain's everywhere. Alright, so we'll go in here really quick, and I'm gonna hit log out really quick just because I want to show you guys. Okay, so this is the name of the server that we are currently in. It's on the Western US time zone. Um, of things. We do that again because it's easier for our schedules and everything else to kind of keep up with everything. Um, so yeah, that's where we are. And for those who have not played or are thinking about playing or anything like that, or even if you play, our guild is accepting new people at this time. We really don't there's really no strict things for us. Like there's a lot of guilds that would be like, oh well, you need to be on this day and this many hours or this and that. Like there's lots of rules set, and we really don't have that for our guild. Um, so yeah, we're pretty well lenient. We're relaxed. It's come as you are, play as you are. If you need help, ask for it. If you want to run dungeons or raids or whatever, ask for it. You know, we're all willing to help and do different things with everybody else. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we're pretty lax about. You know, it's a game. Everybody has a life. People have kids. People have jobs. So we're not gonna really hold anybody above that. So if you guys ever, were to join the Atiesh server, um, be sure to look me up. You could always try and message me on here, on the video at the bottom, and just be like, hey, this is my, you know, name and game, or whatever, here's my game name on one of mine. You guys have seen the Madame Marian, you've seen Sphinx M, you know what server we're on, so feel free to message if you want more of a guild that's relaxed. And when I mean relaxed, I mean we have, it seems like we have a lot of people, but we really don't. A quarter of all those people are me and Augustus, if not more. The rest of those would be people like uh, friends, family friends, things like that. Just really small. Um, but yeah, it's again, we don't do a lot of strict stuff. Now, if you do want to run a lot, you can. We're always willing to discuss. Oh, hey, you're gonna be on every Tuesday or every Wednesday between this time and this time, and you need people to run with. Okay, we'll figure out who all can be on and go from there. We're not gonna, set any standards though because we're just really relaxed. We have kids as well, so we know what it's like to really not be able to do a lot. Um, so yeah, it's just something to think about if you are new to the world or even if you're already in a guild and maybe the guild's just not working out because it's too strict or whatever and you want something a little bit more relaxed. Now we do have limitations with our guild. Don't get me wrong, there are some things, like our guild bank. is currently to where you have to be kind of higher in the tier of things in order to be able to access anything. Like you have to be an officer or whatever. But he's Augustus has it shut down to only certain people can access it. And the reason we do that is because we've actually had people join and they'll sit there and they'll chat and they'll talk and act all excited that they're in their guild. And by the next morning, they've left the guild. And a lot of that from our experience comes from people who they will join the guild, try to access the guild bank to try to get whatever money, items, etc. that they can, and they take off with whatever they're able to, or try to sneak as much as they can, and then they take off and take it back to their original guild. So we do have a lot of limitations for that, just because we're protecting the guild itself. So it's not like it's a bad thing. But now, does that mean people can't get things from the guild bank? No. If you absolutely need it for a character that's in the guild that you're playing at that time, you're leveling something and you need something, and you see that, when you flag over it, if it says, oh, hey, yeah, you have this in the guild bank and you need it, you just say, hey, I could use this. Can you guys help me? And we will do what we can. I don't know why I went this way when I could have just walked around. We will do what we can to see how much we can get you out at one time. Now there is a limit on how much too, because I think he's got it set up where people who are able to access can only pull like 4 stacks a day, and the 4 stacks aren't even full stacks. Like they're like stacks of 4, stacks of 5. Sometimes they're only stacks of 1. It just kind of depends on the item, just because we know how some people can be and some people have been in the past. So it's sort of a lesson learned thing. But for the most part, we just want to play. We just want to have fun. We want to protect everybody and everything that everybody builds up for the teamwork effort of things. Um, and yeah, go from there. So if that's something that, you're like, hey, that sounds pretty neat. I'd like to rather be in a guild like that. Like I said, hit us up. Message me here, message me in the game, at the bottom of YouTube, say, hey, my name is this. Or even if you just want to be, if you're in a guild that you like and you want to be, you know, online gamer friends or whatever to sit back and be able to talk, let me know. We're always willing to, do things like that. We're not really shady people. Now we will sit back and talk before we do, too much getting into things, just because, again, there are those shady people. So we do take normal human being precautions, but aside from that, we're pretty lax. Um, but yeah, right now, I'll go back to the game now. I'm probably talking your guys' ears off. I tend to do that sometimes. We do also have a Discord for our guild too, so. But back to the game. So here on Calypso, right now, I am just playing catch up. I've been running with Don Cree, uh, um, Augustus's other character. It's one of his characters is a hunter. And he managed to get himself to where he's like 8 bubbles ahead of me, level-wise. So right now I am currently just doing spare quests to try and catch up, things like that. But yeah, I'm just slowly working on things like walking through places, unlocking them. Right now, I'm heading down to Desolus for a quest. Apparently, I have a. Oh, that's the buzzard wing thing. We're currently working down in the Badlands, which I've been there with tweets already. So it's, you know, nothing too out of the ordinary from what I'm used to. Um, but yeah, so just doing that. Sphinx is pretty much done with the Argent tournament stuff. We do go on and we're still getting a little bit there, but for the most part, we're done. We've gotten ourselves almost maxed out with all the reputations and everything. So we're working currently on. Sorry, I was trying to remember where I needed to go. We're currently working on Madame Marian and a Nubian over there or up there every day so we can get them built up. Now, we will not beat out Phase 3, obviously. Phase 3 is kind of a bit, you know, it's coming in the next in this week. So we will not be able to beat that out for the XP and all that stuff. So yeah, but it's still a progress thing and we're working on it. Alright, so I went ahead and I finished that. I do have 13 out of 25, but let me see. I need to get the flight path unlocked. If I can. This way. Had to remember how to get up here. Doo doo doo. Alright. So that is unlocked. That helps me out. This is actually a quest that's back in Blasted Lands. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm going around and trying to find all my question marks that I have to turn in. This is again the Buzzard Wings um, quest. But I think that's it here on in this area, actually. I think it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the long way home. But I'm just trying to get caught up to him XP wise just a little bit so that I'm not too far behind. And we did start getting heirloom gear. I jumped over to um, Sphinx and she had enough honor currency and stuff like that. So I started getting the heirloom gear. This is Blizzard account bound. So if you've got someone that's a higher level, and if you're new to this and you do not know this, okay, I get that there are people that know probably a lot more than I do even. But if you're new to the game, this is something to look into is heirloom gear. Now, if you can get yourself to Dalaran to start getting heirloom gear there, yeah, you can get it elsewhere like Ironforge, but this stuff is level 1 to 80, so it will grow with you all the way through level 80. So consider that um, when you're building your characters, if you have high level characters and you can buy for your low levels, you can buy them and send them in the mail to whatever character you need be. So that's something neat. So we will never have to change out these shoulders. They'll go with us unless I find something when I hit 80 that's like a billion times better, but which I probably more than like will, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna swear upon that statement there. Um, but yeah, I still haven't reached trinket stage and getting trinkets yet. I think we'll get more of those when we hit 40. Um, But yeah, we've done a couple dungeons, and I am still getting used to the healing aspect of things. This is my first active healer. I tried healing back in retail Pandaria when it came out, or Pandera, um, with a panda, and I don't know, I didn't catch on with it there. But with Calypso here, I've actually been doing pretty good. Um, it's taken a little bit. I still have to do some of my talents. Um, like right here, you can kind of see it's got different things for elemental, and then enhancements, totems, grass, ancestral knowledge, which this would be nice to increase. Probably might get into that one a little bit. Um, this is more from the looks of it, yeah, attack DPS stuff. But mostly I want to stick with this. Because this is where my heals and everything come in, and that's where I'm going to be focusing. I do have some glyphs already in, like I've got the glyph of Healing Stream Totem, I've got the glyph of Water Mastery, and the glyph of Water Breathing. Um, I actually forgot about my water breathing spell earlier. We were searching for blue pearls in Stranglethorn, and yeah, I forgot about that. So we kept having to go down in the water, come back up for air. Um, but yeah, and this one right here is a water shield spell, which is right here. It surrounds me, and every time that I get hit, it boosts my mana. Um, but it's only like X amount of bubbles that I get, so yeah, 3 globes. Um, but yeah, it's got its little boosts and everything. The mana boost helps. Um, so yeah, just something that I've been working on slowly. We'll see. I'm hoping to get her leveled up here soon though, because I'm enjoying the healing aspect. Because when you're doing DPS and you're doing, tank or whatever, or I do off tank. I don't actually tank. Um, and what I mean by off tank, for those who don't know, is Augustus has his Anubian character, who is a DK tank, and I have Madame Marion, who is also a DK. But she's set up, we're gearing her to be 50% tank, 50% DPS. And I know for those of you who have been playing the game for a long time, you're like, oh my god, why would you do that? Okay, hear me out. So, one thing that him and I do is I gear myself up to be his backup. If something were to happen and the healer gets hurt or runs out of mana during a battle, etc. Yes, he has ways that he can repair himself with his blood spec and heal himself. That's great. But in the worst case scenario, having myself halfway built up for tank and halfway built up for DPS means that if I need to, I can pull the mobs off of him, hold them for a short time while he repairs himself enough to pull them back to himself. There are regenerative spells, you have your healing potions, everything else. And once he's got himself good, he then can pull them back and I go back to DPS. And I don't have to change specs, I don't have to change gear, I don't have to do anything. So it's just something that we do. It kind of helps prevent wipes. Because wiping is never fun. And for those of you who play this game, wiping, it feels horrible. You feel like a failure, kind of, and you want to point fingers, you want to put the blame, and so we try to prevent that from even happening, so people don't have to worry about wiping. Um, so yeah, that's one thing that we typically build those guys up like that, and then we both like survival hunters. So that's what Sphinx is, and that's what his hunter is. And then for later references, I've got this heals, and he's got his druid tank, but he also has gear that he can put on for healing. But this chick, I'm gonna have her for any time that we can't get a hold of our normal healer, etc. I'll be able to help heal. So we've kind of got ourselves covered on a lot of bases. Um, and that's sort of what we like to do because whenever something's in need, we can try to be there to help people. It's just how we are. So yeah. Again, if you guys ever feel like joining a guild that's more relaxed, that's not gonna set a lot of boundaries, etc., please, you know, hit us up, talk to us, feel free to message, all of the above. Because, I mean, even if you guys need something like, hey, I'm short this on my, leveling up. Do you by chance have a means to get it? Whatever. We're usually the ones that a lot of people like to ask. Um, or we'll offer. Like, we'll typically be like, oh, do you need this? Okay, here. But that's just how we are. So yeah. But if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. If you guys want to see something specific, like certain dungeons, if you've never done certain dungeons and you've had people requesting that you go join them in them, and you're skeptical, or hey, how would you do this? Let me know what you want to see. But yeah, for now, I am gonna go ahead and call it here because, yeah, I think this video's gone on long enough, and I think I've talked long enough. So I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully by then, be doing something a little bit more interesting than talking. Bye!